Good evening and welcome. Let me just turn down the volume a little bit on mine. There we go. All right. It's funny that whenever there's a new game coming out or something that just is really awesome for the channel. Like, for example, the last time it happened, it was for Dyson Sphere Dark Fog, and then I made videos, and then every video was just better than the last, and, well, they were not, but they were just like, everything was just compounding, and every time I released a new video, it got lots of views, and the original one in the series was also amazing, and it's just like, awesome. And then after a while, then you know, that tapers off, and there's this amazing high as a content creator when you just see everything turning green and the line goes up, and it's so amazing. But you have to, and this is what happens when you've been around for as long as I have, you know that after a high there's also a low. There's a point where you're still doing great and it's still awesome content and it's still amazing and people still like it, but it's just everything is just a little less engagement than the one you released yesterday, and there's a little less views and a little less engagement and a little fewer patrons and a little fewer viewers on your live streams, and then it sort of settles back to normal again, and maybe it'll get a little bit of a boost that's sort of permanent. But when you then zoom out and look back on, for example, when I look back at all my statistics, then it's very clear that from mid-December to mid-January there was a huge boost based on Dyson Sphere, and then after that it was like back to normal. And then there were like other games, and they were sort of keeping the lights on and all of that stuff, and then nothing much. And then Shapez 2 came around, and it was like the same amazing boost that is just, which is super amazing, as what you these are the upsides, right? And now I know I can see that it's tapering off now. There is a week left of content in Shapez 2 if I really want to sort of get all I can out of it, and I do, because I love this game. And then then there isn't any point for me to continue making videos. It also fits quite well because we're sort of, it's really hard for us to do more. The insane mode, like, this is the thing, like, this is the stuff that you're mentioning, or hexagonal, but it has zero value. Like, it might be a fun challenge for me, but it has zero value from content creation. Like, most people will be like, oh, this was a fun game, I've now also played it, I played alongside you, I've completed like you, now you're just restarting in a slightly more different mode, like, okay, maybe it's time to move on. And that's also how I feel, based primarily on the fact that, well, that's how everyone else feels. There's not going to be anything new and exciting about sort of playing it on insane mode or hexagonal mode. Like, you can play it on the hexagonal mode and go like, oh, that's interesting, the turn actually needs to do this and this. Okay, well, there we go. That's the thing. All new blueprints, new stuff, but the principle will still be the same, and that's totally fine. And then now we're doing the MAM, and then I'll be doing like a short guide to the MAM next week, based on if we solve all the problems. And then I don't think there's anything left to do in the game, to be perfectly honest, at least this point. And then we'll just put it on the shelf and then be like, that was really awesome. Crystal and Pin MAM is a puzzler. Yeah, that's what we're going to be diving in today. And then I also have Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday next week if push comes to shove. So those are the days that I have allocated, and then I don't have any more time. Then it's time for Satisfactory. And if we run out, if we solve all these things to a satisfactory degree, haha, then we'll play some Satisfactory to work on some blueprints there in preparation for the release. So that's a really good point, Epic. I need to reply to that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, and that's just that's just how it is. There's a natural game cycle for this. We'll be doing the same thing when it comes to Satisfactory. We'll be diving in, we'll be playing it. A lot of things will sort of be, oh, we've done that before. We know how to solve that. We know how to build a coal power plant. We know where the coal power plants are located. We know when to unlock the particular things, when to get the upgrades, and we knew how to sort of focus on the specific upgrades that get us, like the boots, for example, the Blade Runners, that kind of thing. So a lot of things will be the same, and then there'll be some new things at the end. Hey, AQJ, thank you for the Prime for 6 months.
Welcome home.
Now you get a welcome home when you're 6 months. Then when like the announcement message is welcome home when you reach 6 months. Welcome home. That's you've been around for long enough. Miss Timony, thank you for the 65 months.
Our illustrious champion returns.
I mean,
Welcome
Miss
home.
Timony is an illustrious champion for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's how it is, and we are going to be diving into Satisfactory. I do not think that Satisfactory will give the same kind of boost that Shapes do, even though it's a factory game, it's a core factory game. But I honestly think that Satisfactory is too overcrowded, and the stuff that I offer is not necessarily the stuff that the Satisfactory community is striving for. I just don't think that's it. I think that the views will generally go to other people who have embraced the correct way of playing Satisfactory. I just happened to watch It's Bits for a little bit this afternoon because I saw, oh, streaming Satisfactory. Let me just see what that looks like now. Because I hadn't seen that in a while. And I just tuned in and I was just lurking and just had in the background doing other stuff. And then I was just, okay, so what is the going to, oh, okay, so like walking on some foundations, putting a smaller foundation, putting a new foundation, putting a small foundation, putting another one that's rotated a little bit, putting one, deleting that, going out to the side, putting one underneath, deleting the one on top, deleting the one on the side, going one foundation forward, putting a little foundation, putting the next foundation, putting another one that's rotated a little bit, putting another one underneath, removing that, putting out, like, shit, I'd forgotten that. I'd forgotten that was Satisfactory content. And there's nothing wrong with It's Bits and the way that he plays that game. I just, oh my god, you can't make curves in that game. Like, are you kidding me? Like, if you want to make curves, it's still 6 years later, it's still fucking awful. So you can expect a lot of 90-degree turns because there is no fucking way that I'm going to spend a half an hour just trying to make this thing curve around the tree. Nope, not going to happen. We don't need those stinking curves here. 90-degree turns or nothing at all. It's the Macarena. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, so that was just, I mean, I know that whenever you just join a random stream, and if someone joins the stream, then we might be just sort of looking at circuits or a random belt rotation or something like that, and you're just, oh, really? Is that what the game is about? But, you know, it's, it was just interesting. No, not 45. The audacity. Seriously? 45-degree angles. Ew. That's filthy. 90-degree turns. So, yeah, we'll be as straight as an arrow, as straight as a stripper pole. We keep our kinks to the nightlife. No kinks in factory games. Plays my powerballs. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll be. Don't kink shame you. Oh, I'm not kink shaming. I mean, I'm kink shaming you if you are taking your kinks into factories. Then you will be kink shamed. But I should be the last to kink shame anyone. So yeah. So yeah, so when it comes to Satisfactory, then of course we're going to play it, but I am going to play it as a factory game, because that's kind of what I can do. Like, I will never be making as beautiful factories as Total Eclipse. There is no way, no way in hell that I can make as beautiful. So why compete? But I can make some crisp blueprints that makes us that allows us to make big factories pretty damn quick. I think that's and then I can make some cool logistics systems that hopefully can inspire you to also work, or it can inspire you to say, I'm not gonna do that. That's a shitty idea. But it's gonna be one or the other. So, hello everyone. Good evening. Yeah, so that's kind of the perspective I want to take on Satisfactory. We're of course going to be playing whatever campaign or story elements or whatever there is and exploring all of that, but that's probably going to be like a minor part. That's my expectation. No building, just a 10,000 wide bus spanning the whole map. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I really loved the archaeology that I built last time. It did have some flaws. I mean, the main flaw was like, it was fucking huge. It was way too big. But that was also like that's a good and the bad thing about it was that it was so big that at least I had enough room, because you usually tend to build things too small. And this one was certainly not too small, but then it was too big and it was just taking way too long to actually fill things in. And well, there was that again. So what I'm gonna do in this one, I think I'm gonna be making like big flat plateau of Platonus, and then just gonna be working. Yeah, the pyramid was awesome. Yes, thank you. It was really awesome, and it did have some really cool aspects to it. It was just this is the thing, right? I want to build that, but I also yeah. The problem with Satisfactory is that if I have 200 hours to throw in that game, that's barely scratching the surface. And that's the problem, right? If you can't make something nice in 200 hours, then it's really hard. And that's my main problem, is that if I'm thinking I'm gonna be jumping into Satisfactory and I'm gonna put 200 hours in over the course of 1 month, because I have 1 month and then it's Factorio time. So I have 1 month to play the game, and I can throw 200 hours in. Let's say that's probably reasonable to expect between streams and YouTube videos and stuff like that. Then that seems about right. Well then, is that enough? No, because then if I decide to make something cool and awesome, then I just don't have time for it. Like, we spent, I don't know, 20 hours in making that silo that looked like a battery. Some gorgeous buildings that didn't require 50 hours of building stuff around. They did. They required an absolute ridiculous amount of time, and only a little bit of it was on stream, and half of it was off camera. So it was not a small task, and I think it was amazing. It was awesome, but it was also like the idea that I don't know what I can't remember what I built, but I built some oil. I did some really cool plastic build. Like, I had done some really cool designs on how to make it, and then I built it, and I built like a platform over it, and then I never fucking ever came back to that plastic build again. And I had spent like 30 hours making it look cool and functional and getting it up there and just from the seaside, and it was awesome. And then I brought it up to trains, and then I brought the trains home to my base, and I never got there back again. And then once in a while I get back there and go like, oh yeah, that's 30 hours down there. So I'm not going to do that again. We're going to be making sure that what we build is going to be visible. And then that might not be good for performance, but I don't think I'm going to be killing performance by having a big factory. But I'd like to sort of, when we're sort of moving around, I want you to go like, oh shit, this is all the stuff that's there. Instead of like, oh, that's a nice build. Yeah, but you should see over there behind that ridge, there's an even nicer build, but we'll never see it again, because why would I go there? I don't want to do that. I want us to sort of enjoy the stuff that's being built by consolidating everything. And I don't know how. Making stuff just as a house for a factory, we cannot see. Exactly. So no houses. There might be some other things, but I will not be putting things indoor. There's no rain, and rain doesn't do anything. So we're going to be leaving things out in the open, and there might be some roads and stuff like that to sort of move around, but trains and stuff like that, and drones. You know, there'll be a lot of cool things, but not sort of putting things into a box. Quiet like open factories. I don't think open factories are quiet. I think quite the contrary. They're very loud. Sorry. Open concept factory. Yeah, because then we can, like, this is also what I love about when we see Shapes 2. And you can see the factory. You can see the sprawl of the factory as you move over. You move over there and you just see the sprawl. And I like that. I go like, oh, that thing over there makes circuits. Cool. We can see that. But I'm quite. I know. I'm just being deliberately obtuse. I know. Which part of the factory will be bigger? Foundations or belt components? What? Foundations or belt components? I mean foundations, because everything is going to be on foundations, so obviously things will be on foundations. The only problem is, how the hell do we do this? Because now I know we're talking Satisfactory. We just got into it. Like, the problem is with Satisfactory is that it is so much verticality that there really isn't anywhere that you can build something and then just say, this is a decent space, and then I can just make it forever in that direction.
Welcome home.
Maybe the only place is off the coast, but I'd really like it sort of more in the middle. Liquid Moonlight, thank you for the 23 months. And if anyone has any idea, then it's also like not really feasible for me to sort of jump in, land in the game, and then just jump up to the red plateau and then start building there. Yeah, sure, it's high, but I can't jump down the trees and I get absolutely destroyed by everything around there. So that's not really an option. Yeah, floating above the trees. Well, the trees that we can knock down is fine, but it's just like, where is a good place? Because no matter where we do it, then there will be something in the way. Is there a topographical map of Satisfactory? Does that exist? Oh, let's put it the other way. If someone knows a topographical map, or topological? Topographical, it must be topographical. Yeah, topographical map of Satisfactory, please share it. Because I'd really like to be able to see that, so that I can kind of gauge that, oh, if I build it at level 100, that means I can go to this point and then build it basically at that level, and then I'll be clear for 2 kilometers that way and 2 kilometers that way. Look, me, I'm dabbing. No, I'm whatever. One that shows height, yeah, the one that shows elevations. So you can see that, oh, here's actually pretty flat and low, but then there's that spike here, or that ridge. If you build on top of that ridge, then you're going to be clear for both directions. Because I think it's tempting to just build in the northern, in the dune desert, and then just kind of find the highest point in the dune desert and go like, okay, this point. But then as soon as you get out of the dune desert, then there are cliffs around it and go like, oh, oops. Make a Satisfactory foundations 20 high and platform from there. Won't fall down and all belts come in. Anyway, you're like, yeah, the problem is that you're saying 20 high, 20 what? 20 kilometers high? It's got to be a hell of a lot more than just 20 units high, because there's a hell of a lot of elevation difference in Satisfactory. Like, a lot. Way more than you think. I don't know what you think, but that's hell more than I thought about. So, yeah, problem is water. Exactly. Water, and also just getting those pipes or belts all the way up. Satisfactory calculator site kinda does show height lighter is higher. Oh. Building with terrain is more fun and less plain. Well, you're welcome to have more fun and less efficiency. You're welcome to that, but that's not me. If I want to build a factory, I don't want to be like, oh shit, I can't because there's a tree in the way. That tree gotta go. That tree is not welcome in my factory. So that's how it is. But the thing is, like, it's also like, what are we gonna do in the beginning, and at what point will we sort of move up? Because it's really tempting to just do one more thing at the ground level, one more thing at ground level, and then never go up. Yeah, must be effective. I must be, like, the thing is, if I spent 50 hours and building a boss, and then suddenly the boss runs into a wall, then I'm just gonna end up rage quitting, because then I can't progress. And they go, oh, but you could take the boss and you could move it around the Titan tree. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to build a factory. So,
a new subscriber arrived.
Water next to the desert area is interesting. Water is up and mining is under. That's an interesting point. But except for the water, that's nuclear waste. Lobo, thank you for the tier 1 subscription. Yeah, pave the world. I mean, I'm protecting the environment with a clean sheet of concrete 100 meters above, so that nothing will disturb the greenery below. That's nice. Very good. You're thinking shapes too, and trees. Well, yeah. Well, we're not talking trees right now. Well, we're talking trees, but we're talking satisfactory, and some unsatisfactory thing here. I was thinking about a big lake on cliff next to the desert. Yes. Yep. There is, that plateau is definitely there. It's the most subbable time of year. Starting August 29th. This is just on the Twitch partner sub. Starting on August 29th at 10 a.m. PT. September is back with even more savings for the community. 25%. Okay, so when is 10 a.m. PT? When is that? Because then you get 25 months off on 1 month sub, and 25 months off on 3 months sub, and 30% off on 6 month subs, plus 20% off merch. Who the hell cares about merch? I actually want some Twitch merch. An hour ago. Cool. So make sure to sub. It's cheap. Let's go into the game. Interact realistic layer option. Okay. Hey, Silver Seasonal, thank you. Could you link that in our moderator chat, or maybe in the Satisfactory chat, and tag me? Then I know, and then I can find it, because there's no way I can remember that now. Look at that, 90%. Ooh. Some of the tasks are actually really tough. Like, tough as in interesting. Because I was looking at it and go like, then I just, no. Well, that I can then do, no, I can't do that. Oh, look at that. We're also on 0.8, so they're cute. They're cute, these trains. Oh, that's so funny. When you have mixed trains, they're weird. Okay, so they just show a random one, I guess. Bloop, bloop. Okay, they blink. Oh, that's kind of nice. That's nice. Operator level 198. Yes, indeed. 0.15. And that is because... Is that getting built? Okay, let's have a look at our... Bloop. Oh, man. So let's see what it's doing. Let's... I wish we could take that. I wish we could get it out here and... I can put it up here, but... Oh. Move? Okay. New command. So this is the one we have to make, but unfortunately we can't really... I hope that goes away. Okay. Don't want to have that marker all the time. Hopefully that goes away a little bit. So let's see. We need this shape. Why are we generating yellow ones? Let's see. That's weird. Oh, we're still... yeah, that was the last thing we did, was switch it back to operator shape 1. So that's coming in here. You're also switching the operator, so it needs to... First level is that, and the second level is that. So let's go back and see. First level is 3 circles, and one of them has to be pink, and the other one... So this is level Which one's level 1? There you go. This is level 1. Okay, so let's see. We should be seeing out here that we're getting circle, 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 and nothing. Good. And over by the coloring, then one of these should be pink. Yay, one of them is pink. And then they hopefully they merge together in the right way. Yeah, they're merging a little. There are some creative shapes. Build the clear block to make the shape faster. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. You're sure a bad influence. Oh no, you made me download the game and now my entire day has passed making squares and circles. Oh yeah, well, it gets worse. Sorry. You close your eyes while having sex with a beautiful woman and all you see is like shapes floating around like, fuck. Like, I wonder if the crystallizer could be... Oh, I was kind of doing something else. Yeah, so it gets worse. Yeah. That's just how it is. So this level is some green stuff and that get merged together. Yay, the green stuff is working. And this should be now starting to merge together. Oh, it's gonna get a lot of crap. First, it is a little bit unstable here. Okay, so this one just has to push out all the residual crap. This is unfortunately something that I can't really clear out because it's stuck in here. So there will be a lot of weird shapes coming out. Yeah. But honestly, how is it gonna change if I clear it out here and here? So my idea is that I want a shape here that kind of scans what is incoming and then throws away. But is that even a good idea? Because right now, I'd rather have it sort of full of things that are almost correct. Because then it saturates the belts and they will filter it out and then it will sort of progress. And it keeps pushing in here. Because if these belts are going to be half empty, then they also end up sending bad stuff the wrong way. And I'd rather have it send more stuff the correct way. Even though some of the stuff that it... No, I want more stuff sent the correct way. Even if some of the stuff that's sent the correct way is wrong shapes. Because then it's flowing and it goes the right way. Otherwise, if it's half empty, then this trigger is not super robust in that regard. Yeah, before the stackers, yes. So we could trash here. That would be right before the stackers would be the right place. And in this case, when it changes, then it's basically the one belt coming all the way from over here that it's all of this that has to be cleared out. But the thing is, if I put a trasher here, what does it matter? Because it's flowing. As long as it's flowing, then it's fine. I mean, whether it flows the correct way and then gets trashed at the end, or if it flows in and gets trashed immediately. I don't see how that is... Like, obviously my factory is going to be full of junk, but as long as the junk keeps flowing through the factory, it won't really matter whether it's deleted here or here. There's a little bit of sort of hold up here and there, but the factory is on a constant flow. So, and Mordin, thank you for the 39 months. So I don't really see that. I mean, in the sense that it it works. What it does is that there will be less bad stuff that goes in here for merging, and then more percentage of it will be correct. That means that, let's say that 25% is incorrect. That means that 25% of one plus 25% of the other one are incorrect. That means if I could remove those 20%, 25% before going in, then 100% of 75% quantity would be correct and they would match. While if 20% is incorrect, and then that means that of the 75% that's correct, 25% of that would merge with a incorrect shape, which would then generate an incorrect shape, which would then propagate through a system. So that's the benefit of it, I think. It would prevent, when we merge, that we are merging bad shapes. Could you build a checker in here? I'd have to know the shape, and then I'd have to cut it in half and know what we're supposed to get on each of those shapes, and then branch it in and out. Current incorrect shapes also help empty train station. That's also a point. Hello, Summercott. Good evening. Best to trash at the end unless you have a limited resource. Yeah, so we'll jump in here and then get a global receiver. But where is it going to monitor? Because there's 3 outputs. All of them. We got that one, and we get a new shape. Oh, I shouldn't have clicked that one. I should have built this and then clicked it. Oh, all right, never mind. So what am I going to do now? Now I'm going to be... Oh, they're the same. Oh, right, that's because it's on channel red. Let's do it before the first stacker. You know what? This logic should actually be on a supporting thing here. I want to build it there. Let's build it down here for this one, and then see what happens. Oh, this is the blue one. Oh, that's a silly shape. There. Good. So let's see what gets merged where. So this... I'd kind of have to send in the signal and then do the operations here. Because otherwise it doesn't work. Then I have to also think about how I'm gonna... That one has to be progressing upwards somehow. Whatever. We'll figure that one out eventually. Doing it before the cutter? Yeah, it's true. But I want to do it before this one, because that's going to be replaced here and here and here as well. So I am not really liking this idea. First of all, there's no way I can dump these, but that's, yeah, there's no way. You could run a wire 3 floors all the way from shape entry and use logic at each platform for what they are. Well, I am already. So this one is sending the full shape in, and then here it will do the operations for this one. It'll check if it's red. And here it'll check if the second one is red. One rotation, right? I mean, I guess I could check this output. Okay, let's take. Oh, this is only checking color. But I could check this, the output from, no, actually this output. I could just check if this is the same as that, and if it is, then I'm good. Let me just check that. Let's see if that's the thing. Belt. Oh, what's that? A pipe gate. Ooh, that's a new thing. Belt filter. And then I'm gonna be checking if it's not though. Why is it not? What? How did it work before? It worked. Didn't it work before? No. Okay, I guess not. What are we actually having in on this belt, this pipe here? Yeah, okay, so that's the whole shape. So that's going to be a lot of complication to actually test it. Then I'd have to be reading this and then analyzing this. Just gonna put that here just to see. And then comparing. That's a no. So they're not alike. Why are they not alike? Oh, because it's come in before. That should be alike, right? No. Why are they not alike? Oh, because that's the color output. It's this output I need. Now it's 1, which means that would allow it to go on. Damn it. I'm just trying to find out how I can do this in a smooth way. And then that would be going over here for a trasher. And then that would be it goes. There. Move the belt reader. Belt reader. This is the belt reader to the right. Yeah, but if I move it, I can't move it. If I move it, I can move it in here if that's even possible. But then if I move it here, then it's always going to give a wrong result if this is a location that gets colored. So don't click that one yet. Oh, but it would be give us level 100, 200. Oh, but I wanted 200. Oh, that's nice actually. So if I now click this, so this is, okay, what it does is, this is reading the content of the belt and then taking the top right hand corner of it. And then it's comparing it to when I get the signal of what I'm actually, like the whole thing, the shape. Yeah. Like this is the overall shape, and then I compare the top right. Here I would then rotate it once and then do the comparison after the rotation, which is actually what I do here. So that would also work here because it would be after the rotation. So when I switch this, let's see, we don't know what the next one is. That kind of sucks if this just happens to be, oh, god damn it, it just happens to be the same shape. Ah, man, why are we unlucky? Always unlucky. And then I just need one rotator. Why is this dead? Oh. So that's not even a good one either, because it was already moving. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I don't know. Like, how big of an advantage is it to make it this much more complicated? We can add that to each platform. Take shape but not color. Yes, that's true. Oh, and then actually I could take it over. That's okay. Yeah, that is naturally... If I only check shape but not color, then I might as well check it here. But checking both shape and color is just a lot of extra work that doesn't really get us anything. My thought are that it doesn't matter this early because these belts don't get slowed down. I think, yes. That gap, where the major slowdown happens is the stackers getting clogged. Yes, you're absolutely right. And it's also kind of where I'm going to get to with this conclusion here. Ah! Fuck. That should be the only difference. Like if I compare these two, the only difference is the green and the red. Yeah, and if I compare this one and this one, the only difference is that rotation, I think. Okay. So I think I need to do it on this sphere, this here. But I'm not sure that's actually doable. But let's try it. It's actually right, because now this one's not actually interesting. It's this one that's more. It's not interesting here. What? Is it just a gray one? That's a boring one. Okay. Right, so since I don't have color, it doesn't really... Right, so let's see. I want to monitor these two. Inputs or outputs? Because if it's outputs, then I actually have to... No, I should only actually... This one and... Oh. This output and this output. So I don't care about the one that flows through. That can flow through if it wants, because that could be either of the two shapes as well. And basically, yeah. It's the stacker the stacker that slows things down and make errors. If everything else flows, then it flows. So that's good. But this is the one that's causing a little bit of a slowdown, I think. But is it really a lot? I don't think so. All right, let's try it. So what is it I want to do? I want to say this is the top right hand. So that means I would need to... First, we just monitor what we get in here. Then I'm going to be saying